Good day, this is Jessamine Arcilia, and before I start my topic, I have a question for you. So, isang prinsesa nakaupo sa tasa. So, ano ito? It is a cashew. So, my report is about the post-harvest handling of a cashew. So, a cashew nut, it is the edible seeds of the cashew tree or the Anacardium occidentale, which grows in tropical regions. It is encased in a hard shell that must be removed before consumption. So, the nut itself is attached to the bottom of the cashew apple. It is a fleshy pear-shaped fruit that is also edible but has a different culinary use. So the post-harvest handling of a cashew nut is crucial for maintaining their quality, flavor, and shelf life. So the process involves several steps, including the removal of the nut from the cashew apple, curing, shelling, and packaging. So effective post-harvest handling in a cashew processing is essential for several reasons. First is the quality preservation. Proper post-harvest handling maintains the quality of cashew nuts by preventing physical damage and protecting them from contamination. Second is the preventing spoilage and reducing losses. So cashew nuts have a high fat content, making them prone to rancidity if not handled correctly. So keeping them cool and dry helps preserve flavor and texture. So post-harvest handling processing like drying are crucial to reducing moisture content, which prevents mold growth and other spoilage factors. The third importance of post-harvest handling of a cashew nut is safety and consumer health. Because we all know that cashew shells contain toxic oils called anacardia acid. So proper post-harvest processing ensures the shells are safely removed and disposed of and protecting workers and consumers. Next is the market value enhancement. The post-harvest processing steps such as sorting, grading, packaging enhance the marketability of cashew nuts by ensuring uniformity and high-quality appearance. So higher grade cashews fetch a better prices in both local and export markets, benefiting producers financially. Then the next is the prolonged shelf life. Drying cashews to the right moisture level and storing them in appropriate conditions significantly prolongs shelf life, allowing for better storage and transportation over long distances. Next is sustainability and environmental importance. So efficient post-harvest handling minimizes waste and reduces the environmental impact of a cashew production. So by reducing spoilage, fewer resources are needed and waste disposal issues are minimized. So the post-harvest handling of cashews involves several case stages and each is essential for maintaining quality, reducing losses, and ensuring that nuts are safe for consumption. So here's an overview of the main stages. First is harvesting. Harvesting it is a separation of the cashew nuts from the apple nuts. The overview of the case stages in post-harvest handling is storage. Next is shelling. And the sixth overview is the drying and peeling of kernels. Next is grading and sorting. The eighth overview of the case stages in post-harvest handling of a cashew nut is packaging, storage, and transportation. So let's move on to the harvesting practices. So the cashew nuts do not mature at the same time. So the duration of harvest extends from 45 to 75 days and the nuts should be collected daily during this period. November to May is the harvesting period and the November to January is the peak harvesting period. So determining the ripeness of cashews involves assessing both the external characteristic of the cashew fruits or the cashew apple and the internal condition of the cashew nut. So here are some indicators to help determine when cashews are ripe. First is the cashew apple color. So the color of the cashew apple can be an indication of ripeness. So as the fruit matures, it changes from green to yellow, orange or red, depending on the cashew variety. So ripe cashew apples tend to have a vibrant uniform color. Next is the cashew apple texture. So the texture of the cashew apple can also provide clues about its ripeness. So ripe cashew apples are generally firm but slightly soft to the touch. They should not be overly soft or mushy, as that may indicate overripeness or spoilage later on. Next is the cashew nut development. So the development of a cashew nut inside the cashew apple is a crucial factor in determining ripeness. So as the cashew apple matures, the cashew nut undergoes changes. It grows larger and becomes more distinct within the fruit. The next is the cashew nut color. So the color of the cashew nut is an important indicator of ripeness. So when cashews are ripe, the outer shell or the pericarp of the cashew nut changes from green to light brown or grayish brown. So this color change indicates that the cashew nut is fully developed and ready for processing. Next is the cashew nut sound. Another way to assess ripeness is by gently shaking the cashew apple. So if the cashew nut inside rattles, it is a sign that the nut has detached from the fruit's wall, suggesting maturity and readiness for harvest. So it is very important to note that the ripeness indicators can vary slightly depending on the cashew's variety and growing conditions. Therefore, it is recommended to consult local experts or experienced cashew farmers to determine the specific ripeness signs for the particular cashew variety being cultivated. Next is the manual harvesting. Manual harvesting, it is traditional method which involves human labor for picking cashew apples and collecting the nuts. So this method is commonly used in smaller farms or areas with limited access to mechanization. So you can harvest from the ground and you can also direct from the tree sa kaon nimo. Next is mechanical harvesting. So it involves the use of machines to automate the picking and collecting of cashew nuts. This method is gaining popularity in large-scale farms where labor costs are high and efficiency is essential. So we have the cashew nut shaking machine. So this type of machine is designed to shake the branches of the cashew tree, causing the ripe cashew nuts to fall to the ground. So it typically consists of mechanical shaker that is attached to the tree trunk or branches, and it is operated manually or with the help of a power source. So the machines designed for cashew nut harvesting are used to shake the cashew tree, causing the ripe nuts to fall to the ground. So these machines typically have rotating heads or beaters that vibrate or shake the trees. Proper handling of cashew during harvesting. First is remove the nut. See a sharp knife or a nylon thread to separate the nut from the apple. So remove foreign matter or remove any disease, damaged or immature nuts as well as any other foreign matter. We have different steps in processing the RCN or the raw cashew nut. We have first the separating the raw cashew nuts. While separating the raw cashew nut from the cashew apple, it shouldn't leave any part of the apple on the cashew nut head. Second is drying, or also known as sun drying. Cashew nuts are sun dried for 2 to 3 days, preferably done on a concrete apron. Drying aims to reduce the amount of moisture of the RCN to about 8%. When harvesting, the raw nuts may contain 12 to 16% moisture. Since raw nut processing is an activity spread over different months, storing the nuts 6 to 12 months before processing is necessary. So the dried cashew nut must be stored in jute bags where it gets more air ventilation. We have the calibration and the cleaning. The calibrator divides the nuts into different grades by size, usually 18, 20, 22, and 24 millimeters. Still, some machines will grade into 5 or 8 different sizes with capacities ranging from 500 kilograms to 2 tons per hour. So the more technical aspect of the processing start with calibration and cleaning. It is when the nuts are sorted and grouped by size while foreign matter is removed. Kaya did you know that raw nuts contain dust, sand, small stone, twigs, or other foreign matters, and etc. And they are to be removed first. So the nuts are passed through a sieve to remove such particles. So large objects are removed manually. Calibration is important for selecting the right blade for the shelling machines later in the process. So the more precise the blade, the fewer breakages. Next is the heat treatment. It is often referred to as cooking or roasting. This step involves boiling the nuts to weaken their top shell ahead of deshelling for 10 to 15 minutes. So the steamed cashews are then left to air dry. So once calibrated, the cashew nut must undergo heat treatment, often referred to as cooking or roasting. So the purpose of roasting is to prepare the nuts for shilling and to extract the kernels without breaking the CNSL contamination to kernels. So while other methods exist such as drum or oil bath roasting, but with steam boiling, it is allows for finer temperature controls, avoids desiccating the nuts, and prevent worker exposure to acidic fumes. Next is the shelling. Traditionally, shelling is done manually, while this ensures greater precision and thus less splitting. So the cashew husk contains a caustic phenolic resin which can cause serious skin damage to workers. And did you know that cashew nuts have two shells, one on the outside called pericarp or the epicarp, and the another one in the inside called the endocarp. So the pericarp, it is a smooth, somewhat elastic and olive green in color before maturity when it becomes grayish-brown. So the endocarp is brown and hard and must be cracked like the shells of other nuts. Thus the shell represent the two-thirds of the weight of the raw nut. So these two shells are separated by a cavity structured similarly to honeycombs. So the cut shells are used to produce cashew nut shell liquid or the CNSL, which is widely used in the polymer industry, coatings and paints, rubber, plastic industry, biofuels, and lubricants. Next, we have the hot treatment of unpeeled cashew kernel, or also called the Borma treatment. So the hot treatment, or also called dehydration, it is to evaporate moisture from cashew kernel. Additionally, it aids in eliminating any remaining cashew nut shell liquid or the CNSL that may help permitted the nut during the previous stage. Next, We have the humidification, the unpeeled cashew kernel. So preparation for peeling is a delicate process because while you want the testa to be brittle and loosen for easy removal, you don't want the kernels to become too dry. That is why the Burma treated cashew kernels are humidified or moisturized by water mist spray. So the cashew kernel trays are kept in trolleys for conditioning and humidified in a closed room. Steam is injected instead of water mist for accelerated humidification in a short time. Next, we have the peeling of cashew kernel. The peeling of the testa is done by a hand for smaller scale production or through mechanized pneumatic air peelers. So the usage of sharp edges of a knife is discouraged as it causes scrapping of kernels. So kaning pneumatic air peelers are used for mechanized cashew kernel peeling. So the system leaves some percentage of partially peeled kernels. The partially peeled kernels are sorted from fully peeled kernels by optical color sorters for repeeling manual peelers. And did you know that skilled labor peels approximately 6 to 8 kilograms in a day, while the pneumatic peelers can peel up to 300 kilograms per hour? We have the sorting and grading. So the purpose of sorting and grading cashew kernels is to classify the nut based on size, color, quality, and other characteristics to meet the standard or the market standards, ensures product quality, and maximize the value. Sorting and grading are critical steps in the cashew processing industry as they influence pricing, packaging, and consumer satisfaction. We have the manual grading. Grading requires great skill. So on an average, one person can grade 80 kilograms of kernels in 8 hours a day. We have the manual grading. In small to medium scale operations, sorting and grading are often done manually by trained workers who inspect each kernel visually. So the visual inspection, size sorting, defect identification. We have the mechanical sorting and grading. Kung naatay, manual, we have the mechanical sorting and grading. So cashew kernels are graded based on shape, size, and color as per. So international specification and standards. So the grade specification and color charts issued by the Cashew Export Promotion Council of India has been recognized worldwide. So usually skilled labor can grade anywhere between 2 to 50 kilograms of cashew kernel per day depending on the size shape of the cashew kernel. So next we have the optical color sorters are used to final grading kernel to international standards with a very high accuracy and speed. We have the standard grading classification of cashew nuts. So the purpose of sorting and grading cashew kernels to classify the nuts based on size, color, quality, and other characteristics. So we have the standard grading classification. We have the whole grades. We have the W180, also called the King of Cashews, the jumbo size or the W210, then a large, the W240, and so on. We have also the scorch whole grades or the SW, the pieces and splits or the LWP, large white pieces, and the small white pieces. And we have the splits. We have also the dessert grades. Ano siya? Ang scorch bats kay gupog siya, while the white wholes kay gwapa siya. Next is the packaging. Conditional. So before packaging, we have the conditioning of graded cashew kernels. So condition siya. It is because to reduce excess moisture levels, cashew kernels, it treated siya progressively heated by infrared lamps or the IR to reach 75 degrees Celsius after 4 minutes. We have also gipacking na siya. We use flexi vacuum plastic bag. So the kernels are then packed And sa cubic vacuum sack flexi pouches by grade, then labeled siya with a lot of code for traceability. So the moisture content is kept at 4% so they don't break in packaging. So you use airtight containers such as vacuum sealed bags or plastic containers with tight fitting lids are ideal for preserving the freshness of dried goods like cashew nuts. So these containers also protect nuts from contamination. We have also the tin box for packaging cashew nuts. Serves multiple purposes because it provides strong physical protection, preserve freshness by acting as a barrier against air, moisture, and light, and enhances the product's appeal through attractive branding. We have also the factors to consider in packaging selection for cashew nuts. We have the material compatibility, the sealing and closure, the durability and protection, the size and portion control, the shelf life, the cost and sustainability, the labeling and branding, and the recycling. Compliant. We have the storage. Processed cashew nuts are typically stored in airtight containers to preserve freshness and protect from contamination. They should not be kept for more than 6 months before being sold. We have the transportation. If mag-transport na siya, it is very important nga na ay mga symbol. We have also the refrigerated cargo ship reefer, mao ni ang ginasakyan, ginakuan na nila. We have also the general cargo. Then that is the symbol. We have the quality assessment of a cashew kernel. So, quality assessment requires grade scale siya. And involves quality assessment of cashew nuts involves evaluating several key factors to ensure safety and meet consumer expectation. We have the visual inspection, the texture, moisture content, kung nabot ba siya ideal range, the taste and flavor, kung fresh pa siya, and of course, the foreign matter. Dapat away siya, should be free from stone, dust, or mold. We have the roasting quality, so evenness of uniform roasting without burning or under roasting na sobraan. We have the grade and classification based on size, kung W180 siya, katong guwapa, or the W210, or the W240 and quality whole, broken, or scotch. Nakadepende po siya sa grade. Kung guwapa siya, kung belong siya sa whole, or the W180, so mahal siya. We have also the storage conditions, packaging. Yung packaging, dapat airtight containers to avoid oxidation. And of course, kuan po niyang temperature. So, store in a cool, dry conditions below 15 degrees Celsius. We have also the chemical testing. Kaya it's because ang kanang kuan kasi kay aflatoxins dapat i-ensure nga safe levels of mold toxins. So dapat ginaano na siya control, kuan ensure. We have the fat and protein. Check for typical fat 46 to 50% and protein 18% content. So mga na yung ano. We have the shelf life. Of course, consider ang stability. Dapat 6 to 12 months with proper storage siya. Maabot siya 6 to 12 months. Basta proper yung storage. We have the rancidity. Kanang any signs of spoilage suggest poor storage or expired nuts. So these assessments ensures high quality cashews for consumers and long shelf life. We have the value-added processing. The value-added processing of cashew nuts involves transforming raw cashew nuts into products with higher market value, better utilization, and enhanced nutritional or culinary qualities. So this benefits both producers and consumers, offering a wide range of cashew-based products. So below is a summary of key methods and products derived from this value-added processing. We have the roasted cashew nuts, the cashew nut butter, wow. We have the cashew nut flour, the cashew nut milk, the cashew nut snacks, the cashew nut oil. Napod siya cashew nut paste, cashew nut powder, protein powder ni siya. Na siya, nasa mga ano, cashew-based confectionery, natin cookies, natin chocolates, and so on. We have also the cashew-based beverage, natin vanilla, cashew vanilla, okay, mga drinks. We have the cashew nut shell liquid. Kaya it's because, di ba, ang kuan siya contain siya CNSL. So, mabaligya ko din siya. Yung liquid. from sachets. So, naputay cashew nut soap and cosmetics. Napagwa pa. Okay, let's move on to the waste management and recycling. The waste management strategies for cashew nuts. We have the recycling cashew nut shells or the CNSL and shells. Kaning CNSL as industrial products, kay use ni siya, pwede siya magamit sa paints, pwede siya ma-break linings, reasons for constructions. Pwede po, utilization of cashew apples. So, ang dili lang cashew nuts ang magamit, but as well ang cashew apples. Pwede siya ma-juice and beverage, ma-powdering, ma-animal feed. We have also the broken cashew nuts. Broken cashew nuts ito mga nagagupog-upog. Pwede siya ma-processed foods. Pwede siya butter, flour, or paste for sauce and soups. We have the dust and fines. The cashew flour, the biofuel, it can be compacted into biofuel for energy. We have also the composting. So organic waste disposal, cashew apples and shell waste can be composted for soil enrichment. Okay, let's move on to the conclusion. In conclusion, post-harvest handling of a cashew nut is crucial for ensuring product quality and maximizing value. So, it's important that proper harvesting, like drying, storage, are essential to maintain freshness and prevent spoilage. So, efficient processing including shelling, roasting, sorting, mag-ensure siya high-quality nuts while minimizing waste. We have also the recycling byproducts like cashew shells and apples, adds value and reduce environmental impact. And overall, effective post-harvest practices enhance the shelf life, safety, and marketability of cashews, benefiting both producers and consumers while promoting sustainability in the industry. So that is the end of my report. Thank you.